We got a really interesting one from Tyler. Tyler's watching on YouTube, and it's similar to some of the other questions. He wants to know about how the presidency affects our work. Specifically, Tyler asks, can you go over the NLRB strength under a Harris administration versus a Trump administration?
Very, very good question. Look, the NLRB, the National Labor Relations Board, has a lot of impact on workers' rights, particularly when it comes to winning unions, voting for unions, keeping unions, and the like. And also, at times when it's working well, it can help hold management's feet to the fire in enforcing certain rights, such as, let's say, the right to information for the union representatives to be able to investigate and file grievances. So the best example we can give is what happened with Trump and then Biden on this issue. Donald Trump appointed, Judy, you got to help me with his name. I think it was, or Stephen can, it was one of the most pro-corporate, anti-union general counsels that the NLRB has had in decades and decades and decades. It may have been Scalia's son, but I may be mixing that up with somebody else. But so everything they were doing was skewed towards the corporations. Biden came in and made a change because the general counsel of the NLRB is appointed by the president, and the members of the NLRB are nominated by the president. So Jennifer Abruzzo, who did come out of the union movement as a lawyer, is now the general counsel of the NLRB. And the NLRB, within their limits of the law, they've been much more true to the intent of the law. The NLRB, the NLRA, the National Labor Relations Act, was established really as a pro-worker type of act, and it's been turned often into something else. So Jennifer Abruzzo has helped put the NLRB on a path that's more fair to workers. I would assume, I haven't talked to Kamala Harris about this, but I would assume if Kamala Harris is president, she will very much want to keep somebody like, and probably she herself, Jennifer Abruzzo, as the counsel of the NLRB. Very important for us. And if Donald Trump gets back in, I may have had the name wrong of who he had in there, but it's going to be somebody like that, whether it's, who represents the Elon Musks of the world. Those people of the world that think if workers legally engage in a strike to withhold their labor, to improve their lives and their working conditions, that somehow it's okay to then fire those people. So that's part of the stark choice. And the NLRB does have a big impact on our ability to represent you as union reps and our ability to grow the labor movement. And folks, we're not an island unto ourselves. The labor movement's down to 6%, 6.5% of the private sector workers, 11% overall. That impacts us all at the bargaining table because we're not as strong as a union movement to win the kind of things that we deserve. So growing the labor movement, just because we have a union doesn't mean we don't have a stake in growing the labor movement, and we have a huge stake in growing the labor movement within our industry, i.e. organizing, in particular, Amazon. That will help uplift us all. So the NLRB is a big question there. Whoever the president is has a huge role to play. And whether they're really a functionary of the billionaire class or they're more of what the intent of the law was to help uplift the working class.